What are your thoughts, guys? Bones Brigade Series 16. Thanks for tuning into 80s Love. Today we're going to look at the Bones Brigade Series 16 drop that has been confirmed, or at least I believe it's 99.9% confirmed. I did see some posts on some reputable Facebook pages, so unless you've been hiding under a rock or are not subscribed to those Facebook pages, you probably have already seen this. We've seen a lot of other mock-ups and stuff kind of teasing towards what the Bones Brigade Series 16 might look like, thanks to my good buddy Henry, who likes to throw a wrench into the system and have everybody going crazy. And I think I did a quick short on one of them that dropped. Anyways, I actually prefer some of Henry's mock-ups versus what we're getting. This is going to be still pretty cool. But yeah, and to be honest, we should have known because there's been some teasers along the way, which we'll get into. But yeah, so I think I'm not seeing many of these pictures now. They were originally popping up and then they spread like wildfire through the different Facebook pages. I did see one store was saying pre-orders up until November 22nd or something along those lines. So that's pretty hard confirmation that it is coming in. And again, I've seen it with some other reputable sources. So this is probably what we're getting. With those pre-orders, if you feel like you missed out on it, don't worry about it because I don't think that pre-orders are meant as pre-sales. I think it's really just going out to the stores. They're not even really supposed to necessarily release this information, but they're supposed to be putting in the orders that they want specifically for the stores. There have been some stores that use it as a pre-sale opportunity. They just don't want to roll the dice. They want to guarantee that everything they get in is going to be going out the door. They don't want to be holding on to stock. So they're using it more as a pre-sale thing. But since I originally seen them, all of those stores have taken down the Bones Brigade Series 16 advertisement. So I don't know if, hands were slapped for doing that. But I think it really was meant just for a pre-order for the stores. Anyways, that pretty much confirms that this is what we're going to be getting here, this Bones Brigade Series 16. So it's really like the black dip, gold foil type thing. And as I said earlier, there's been some hints along the way that really should have triggered for us that this is the direction they're going. It feels like, and I read it from somebody else on one of the Facebook posts, that, when Powell buys into something, they go deep into it, like we've seen with a lot of the Blacklight series decks and all the different releases in their lineup, the reissues from Powell for Blacklight. And now it seems like they're really going deep into this black dip with the gold foil. So let me just pull up some examples of what we have seen this recent last few months. Okay, yep, so the Mike McGill, this is the classic here, 40th anniversary of the McTwist, and so this one dropped. I do think I seen it with a black dip as well. Anyways, this is the one that I found online quickly. We can see the gold foil in it. I seen an Andy Anderson that came up with a silver and a gold foil. We can see here. Obviously, Andy Anderson's not from the 80s. He pulls a lot from the 80s, a lot of influence from the 80s, using Vernon Cortland Johnson even for his graphics and things, which is so rad. And even his skating is very inspired from guys from the 80s. But we've seen it in that deck. What else? I know there's a couple other ones here. Of course, the Mike V that came up. And to be honest, I'm surprised because I heard rumors that Mike V wasn't putting out any more decks with Powell. I'm not sure what happened there, and I'm not even sure that Street Plan is still operating. I don't know if he's kind of closed that up and he's now just moving decks through Powell. I'm not sure if you guys know, throw it in the comments, but we did see Mike V came up, the Elephant. We also seen a Ripper came up, the checkered one here, with the black dip and gold foil. So all of these things have really been giving hints towards what we should have assumed to expect with the Bones Brigade Series 16. So another one that dropped recently was the Cab Chinese Dragon. This one looks pretty rad. It's the Vert deck. And this one looks pretty rad. So it will go, all of these decks will go great with this new series. And so that's the Chinese Dragon that dropped. And then there is one other one here that just dropped, and I know some shops have put it up for pre-order, and I hate to even tell you guys about it because this is one deck that I would love to get my hands on, but I'm going to show you guys. You've probably already seen it anyways, but the Ray Underhill, and this is the chain and cross here, and I do have... This one here is a tribute deck to him. They did, and I think it was 2015. I have done a video on this one, so go back and watch it. But this one was a shape that they were originally going to use, but then they ended up not using it, and now they're using, or they ended up using this one that we're seeing in the reissue here. I also seen that somebody said that this was more of the mini version of the deck because the original was larger than 30.25 inches, which is what this one is going to be. Anyways, this deck I am going to definitely try to get my hands on. So I've reached out to some local suppliers to see if they can help me with that. If you are in Canada and you're getting this deck in your shop, please let me know because I do want to get my hands on this deck. And I love the top graphic on it. I love the Ray Underhill. He's done so much for skating, and it really is a shame that we lost him so early. All right, so let's just get back to, the Series 16 here. What are your thoughts on this? We've got some older, earlier 80s as far as the cab and the hawk goes. So they are mixing it up a little bit. We've seen the pointy nose Guerrero a few different times now. Looking at this image, I'm not sure if it's the bottlenose or if it's the spoon, but it kind of, I think it might be the bottlenose. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see when we get some better images of it. But right now, it's kind of hard to tell just because graphically, and I don't know if I just got a crappy version of it, but graphically, it does not look very distinct lines. So you can see the difference up here between the spoon and the bottlenose. Yeah, the Rodney Mullen is still the same. So not a lot of diversity here. The colors, I mean, obviously diversity in the sense that we haven't seen this before. But as far as the graphics and the shapes, nothing new, nothing exciting. And so this is actually going to drive quite a few people crazy because they have been wanting something different and they've been screaming for it. And maybe that contributes to why people are trying to do the pre-sale instead of just doing a pre-order. Because a lot of these, really since Series 12, so since this Silver Series, the 13s, the 14s, and the 15s, you can still find them in shops throughout Canada, which is insane. So for example, if you're looking for one of the Hawks from Series 15, let me know. I've got a buddy that has a few of them. I'll connect you guys and he'll be able to hook you up because you can still find these things throughout shops in Canada, which is absolutely crazy to me. A part of it is I'm wondering if they're just doing so many now or if they're just pounding them out every year and it's just kind of numbing people down. They're looking for something a little bit different. Again, you're not going to have, I don't know, there's going to be some completists that will buy like every single set every single time and their walls will be filled with these things. But in reality, how many Hawks do you need? How many cabs do you need when there's so many other wicked decks that are out there? Like I've tried to kind of get as many Bones Brigade, like including like the Ray Underhills and the Powell Unders and the Says as I can, the Barbies, the Hills. So outside of just the big six, people that have skated in that time frame for Powell is kind of the direction that I've been going with my collection. But outside of that still, there's so many other brands, like my Sims Eric Nash back here. I would love to get some other Sims decks, some Santa Cruz, some Vision, so many other decks that I would like to get. And so, I mean, when you only have so much wall space, it starts to, get to the point that I don't even know if I'm going to buy any from this series. We'll see. I might just buy a couple of them to do some videos and show you guys. But again, that's money out that I lose on the back end if I don't get it. So if they're not selling, which happened with Series 15 here, is that, again, you can pretty much go to any store and find, well, not any store, but a lot of stores still have the Series 15 decks. All right, so what are your thoughts, guys? Let me know in the comments. I do want to bounce over to a couple of the ones here that Henry did and kind of had us confused. And I think some of these ones, for example, this white dip one, would have had people super excited because we have the mech dragon on there for the cab in a different shape. We have the white dip hawk, which is beautiful. People are really wanting one of those. We have the Iron Gate, which we have not had another Iron Gate release since, was it Series 8? I actually had one of those, but ended up letting it go. There's the McGill fish there, and then the Mullen mutt. Like, these are all, let's think outside the box, you know, and bring some more of these in. And then this other one that we've seen here, and Henry just did up a different colorway that looks crazy good again. I would have been all over this series. To see that pink Guerrero, even the yellow mountain, but with the mech, the fish, and that green on the Mullen. So good, Henry. You did such a good job. I was really hoping this was going to be the right one. But anyways, that is not what we ended up with. We ended up with this gold series, the gold foil series. I think it's going to look great. I think it's going to look great in person, but it's probably, to be honest, one that I'm going to pass on. So when do we expect to see this? Probably March. So if you're waiting, you're anticipating probably March. There will be some news about pre-orders that you can actually go in and pre-order on Skate One or what have you. That has not dropped yet, or at least I haven't seen it yet. But anyways, all right, guys, that's pretty much it. Bones Brigade Series 16 confirmed. Black foil in the black dip with the gold foil there. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. Are you getting it? Are you not getting it? It's probably going to be a pass for me. And again, unless I just buy a couple, just, you know, to show you guys on what you would get with them. But I'm not super stoked on this one. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just rinse, repeat with a couple different colors. I would like to see some diversity. I really hope Powell starts looking at what Henry's got going on, because the guys are getting pretty excited about some of those possibilities. All right, thanks for tuning into 80s Love. I hope you guys have a fabulous holiday season. Merry Christmas. Be safe out there. Cheers.